Hey everyone, I'm Cecil Laird.
Fuego here.
And this is your Horror Show News, editorial edition, found here every single Friday. And if you guys want, you can watch us do the news in proper, sort of nightly news style over at youtube.com/thekingsof horror. But right now we're going to get a little looser. We're going to start talking about what we think of this week's news stories, which you can see right here. So let's get into it. Now, Fuego, what do you think of the fact that they've already approved a Don't Breathe 2?
Money! It made a lot of it on a small budget, and it was a damn good film. In my tops as far as the thrilling and the frightening for the year. I loved it. Great idea. They're also giving him the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo sequel right now, which is cool. So he's going to be a busy guy.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm excited to see what he can do with a sequel. You know, there was a deleted scene from the first film where the blind man actually goes to the airport to try and follow the girl. So
how about they factor that into the sequel?
I don't know if they're planning to do that or if they're planning to just have him encounter someone else. But I'm hoping it's a continuation of the story involving the girl as well.
That's what I want.
But I'm excited. Fede Alvarez really impressed me with that movie along with the Evil Dead movie, so I am super excited to see what he can do now, continuing on with a new sort of property that he's helped create.
And yeah, going along with another story that will not be a sequel, it will be a retelling of something that we've seen already. I know this guy did not like The Witch. I loved The Witch. I thought it was fantastic, and he's going to be working for his second project on a third version of Nosferatu because it was remade in the late 70s, both being German films, the original 1922 and the 79, I think it was. Have you seen either Nosferatu film?
No, and honestly, I don't know what the hell's going on because there was another remake that was shooting as recently as last year starring Doug Jones as the titular Nosferatu.
I heard when I was doing research on this that they had a Kickstarter going and there was no additional information about that one. I'm kind of wondering if it's even still happening at this point.
But I also had heard another one was in production last year as well. So
how many damn Krampus movies do we have? I mean, maybe.
Yeah, but
nonetheless,
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but
I'm most interested in his based on just the brooding, methodical nature of The Witch. I feel like just the images, at least in the original and in the German version, just the look and the creeping and the shadow and everything. It was really lasting and creeping me out, and so I'm excited. I can tell you're not so much.
I've seen those clips before, and it's the same issue I have. I don't like black and white stuff for the most part. It's just not scary. It doesn't do anything for me. It's like, okay, I appreciate it's what a lot of our horror nowadays was built on, but it was built on it, for a reason. Like that. I mean, that is to say, I know it's, classic and necessary to cinema, obviously, but we've improved since then, and I don't need to regress, in my opinion.
There's a lot of people that think the late 70s remake actually improved greatly because there was real dialogue and it was in color, and they thought the performance was a little more tormented, and it actually followed the Dracula story a little bit more closely as opposed to being like a loose adaptation. So, I mean, with Eggers working on it, I like the story. I love the book Dracula. So, yeah, who knows? We'll see.
We'll see how it goes. But one I'm excited about is Chucky number 7, which of course we got a new update this week from Don Mancini as he was standing in front of the house from Curse of Chucky, which was the 6th installment. So we already know that he was planning on bringing back Fiona Dourif, and obviously they'll bring back the voice of Chucky himself.
Her dad.
Yes, but I don't think they're going to set the whole 7th movie at the same house. I think they're probably going to have to start there and send Fiona Dourif's character away from the house in order to maybe help out the new little girl that at the end of part 6 got the Chucky doll, who actually happens to be one of the 3 people that he tagged in the tweet. So we know she's coming back.
So it is a direct sequel then, and I can see the ebb and flow of the series, how with sequels you have to either pull things back or you have to build stuff up and make it bigger and better. The 6th film did feel like it was going more small scale, more personal, nowhere near as silly and crazy as the ones that I actually really loved so much, which was Bride and Seed, not so much, but Bride of Chucky I loved. I thought that film kicked ass. So I can see how after scaling it back, now they have to build it back up a little bit, so more places, more sets, and it was a hit, right? So
and ultimately he's tying in all of them. So
I know.
They're all one series.
Found out at the end where like the skin came off and he still had the sewn face and everything.
Well, exactly, and not only that, but they brought in Andy at the very end in the post-credits scene. So I don't know how that's going to work because technically in the post-credits scene,
spoilers!
They allude to Andy shooting Chucky, but Chucky survived worse. So I hope they don't renege on that and say that he like shot just to the side of Chucky or something like that.
Who knows? They can do whatever they want in this series, and I know you'll see it, and I will be dragged along because I like Chucky too. He's a good guy.
Well, the last one went straight to VOD, so we'll see if this one even gets a release, but I hope it does.
Yeah. And my second story is, unlike Chucky, a series we're both very familiar with, this one neither of us know about because only people who have read the books, The Passage, and its 2 subsequent sequels know anything about this property, but it's supposed to be post-apocalyptic vampires, not have like taken over the world like in Daybreakers. They've just overrun the world, and it sounds very Stakeland, very Walking Dead. I know the book came out, the first one, in 2010, so the property's been floating around for a while. The idea was around as far as 2007, going back almost 10 years, when they sold the movie rights before the book was even done being written. It was like half being done, and so I mean, I'm curious because Scott Free Productions, Ridley and Tony Scott's company, is the ones who are going to produce it for Fox TV. I'm not as excited, and I didn't mention this in the news story, so glad you guys came over here for the editorials, is that Friday Night Lights and Felicity people are apparently working on this along with Scott Free Productions, so they describe it more like The Stand than like The Walking Dead, so whatever that means, I mean, maybe more personal, more... I don't think Walking Dead's character-driven, so I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't have a lot of faith in this beyond the fact that Ridley Scott's people are working on it. Thoughts?
I just don't know enough about it. I need to know more before I can get excited, because as of right now, it sounds like a lot of other things that we've already gotten. And that doesn't excite me.
Yeah, not as much. I know it takes place over the span of 100 years, these 3 different books, so maybe it's like multiple generations of people, how they deal with it. So, once again, Robert Kirkman said that the reason he wanted to do The Walking Dead was because after, like, Dawn of the Dead, he's like, what happens to the characters? And so, it's good that maybe you could see those storylines get fleshed out better, and I know it's epic, and it's a big series of books, and it's going to have its fans, like all the YA stuff does, all the Twilight stuff. I hope this is more The Stand than Twilight, but the other people working on it, I'm not so certain. But I'll at least check the pilot out. We don't even know if it's going to go to series at this point, so...
Yeah, might be worth it. Well, yeah, I'll probably check out the pilot, too, because of the Scott name, but who knows?
Hoping it's less Vanessa Hudson.
Anyway.
Yuck.
One thing that I'm really excited about, though, is the fact that we are going to get more Hatchet. Now, you know that I'm a huge fan of the Hatchet movies and Adam Green.
I watched the first one. It was very good.
Not a big fan of Digging Up the Marrow myself, but I did...
Frozen, dude.
Frozen was excellent.
Love Frozen.
Frozen was amazing. But I love the Hatchet series as well, so to know that we're going to get more Victor Crowley stories is really cool, although it's a little disappointing that we're not going to get it in cinematic form, at least not right now.
And I wonder why, because he didn't direct the third one, right? He only did the first 2.
Right.
Did he co-write the third one?
I believe so, and he produced it as well. He was on set, he just didn't direct it. It wasn't as good as the first 2, but it was still a worthy entry because there was still... The fun sub thing that happens in the movies is horror icons meet each other all the time, just not as their iconic characters, so... you get to see different people square off as different characters, but it's still the horror icons.
And get killed by Crowley?
Some of them, absolutely. So yeah, it's a lot of fun that way. And so I'm excited to see what they'll do in comic form, and the kills are always really creative in the Hatchet movies, so I'm excited to see what they can do in comic form. And yes, I guarantee there's going to be lots and lots of red ink, just like Green says.
Yeah, totally. And there was one brief crossover he did at one point with a character Slash or something.
Yeah, they did a Hack/Hatchet crossover.
Yeah,
which
so we've seen him once before, but just in that, it was a one-shot, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And basically Hack/Slash is a comic series created by Tim Seeley that has a young girl and a would-be slasher that's not actually a slasher. He's a misunderstood monster, essentially. And they go around hunting down horror movie slashers, essentially. So Victor Crowley was one of them, and they were unsuccessful, if I recall.
Interesting. Well, hey, so expand on that. Maybe it could be cool, and with a proven property, I think it'll fare well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So another proven property in our final story. Smell what the Rock is cooking? Yeah, more big blockbusters. He is currently the highest paid actor in the world, which blows my mind. Last year he made more money than any other actor, and he's got like 3, 4, sometimes 5 movies a year at this point. I mean, he's going for it, and I love the guy. We both liked San Andreas. I didn't personally love it. I think maybe you were a little more entertained than me.
I was entertained. I didn't think it was a great movie, but I was entertained because I like disaster movies. But I heard...
And Daddario. Oh.
Yeah, of course. Well, and I heard the one that he did with Kevin Hart was a really good one. So he's just a charismatic dude, He's just a charismatic dude.
Yeah, and the Rampage property. I mean, I played the hell out of those video games, man. That and King of the Monsters. Anytime I could be a big creature going around smashing cities and stuff, I just love that. I'm hoping they bring a humorous tinge to it to counterbalance like the King Kongs and the Godzillas, make it a little more fun, maybe.
Well, and
I'm on board.
Where's the giant wolf movie? Like, if there's a giant wolf too, right? That's the third one. Yeah. So I don't know what movie they're spoofing with a giant wolf, but I'd like to see that.
Yeah. I just think it needs to be counter programming at this point to the upcoming Godzilla and King Kong.
Oh,
stuff
I think it will.
I feel
it'll be a slapstick Godzilla, I think, for sure.
Hey, I'm all for that then.
But
that's the route they take.
I'm interested to see what. Well, see, that's the question though, because if people that know the game know that the monsters are actually humans.
Yep. And
is The Rock one of the monsters?
That could be even cooler. And then is he gonna mocap like as the wolf or like the
or
King
the
Kong
ape or who knows?
Or, Lizzie the lizard I think was the other one.
Yeah, Lizzie. So. Yeah, because that's got to be a girl, right? So I wonder. That's that. So I don't know. Is The Rock going to be?
Just picked up on something because they haven't specified what type of role he's playing. All that we know is that there's a director. It's coming out April 20th, 2018. So it's a ways away to make room in his schedule.
Mark this video down. Here's my idea. There's going to be a Godzilla and a King Kong analog that come and try and take the city. And then The Rock is going to have to take the formula to become a big monster to stop them and be the wolf.
Well, he was rumored to be the Wolfman at one point, right?
Oh, well, hey, that wouldn't be too far off. So
I think you just hit the nail on the head,
I think that might be it, because he's going to have to turn into something to stop the two big monsters, and then you get the Godzilla monster fight that we wanted in Godzilla, but we didn't
don't want just two monsters. We want multiple monsters. Big battle royale,
I really hope I just stumbled onto the thing, because that would be really fun if that's what they do. If not, I might be a disappointment.
We should put a light bulb on top of your head in the post-production when this happens. Exactly. But so yeah, guys, that'll cover all of the stories that we editorialized for this week, and I had a lot of fun doing it with you, man.
Yeah, that was fun, guys. So make sure you come back every single Friday, and of course, you can watch us deliver the news stories in proper over at youtube.com/thekingsofhorror, and then come right back here and watch us talk what we actually think about the news stories.
Yes, double dip with us. We appreciate it. And always make sure to like, share, subscribe. Spread the word about this program if you found it informative, entertaining. We are always #ScaryInformative here. That's what we strive for. And gracias to you guys for coming along with us for the ride.
Absolutely. So thanks very much. I've been Cecil Laird.
Gracias. I've been Jaime and Fuego.
Until next time, remember, stay scared.